Hi everyone, I'm Laurencio, and in this video I'm going to talk about all Disney sports games on the GBA. Disney Sports Football is great, but it's not for everyone. It's a game for kids and casual players. That's because the game is pretty basic when you play it. Still, it offers enough to make things feel a little more varied. The game is 5-on-5 football. You get 7 characters to choose from and 7 stadiums. You get around 8 plays to choose from, and as game modes you get an exhibition mode where you play a single match, you get a challenge mode where you play against all teams in the game, and a practice mode where, as the name says, you practice and you do the exact same thing as you do in the normal game. There are no practicing minigames here. There isn't even a tutorial here, or tips that tell you how to play better. You just select what part of the match you want to practice and do that part of the match. And this lack of game modes and even minigames makes the game good for casual players. But hardcore players won't find enough substance in the game to be able to play it for more than 5 or 10 minutes. Also in the game you can use special attacks called magic. They can freeze other players on the field or zap them, but usually they don't hit that well, which makes them mostly just visually pleasant, not useful. Also there are mines on the field, but don't worry, if you don't like using magic attacks or mines, you can turn the options off. Disney Sports Basketball is again a game good for kids and casual players, but not for the hardcore sports game fans. You get 5 characters and 6 stadiums in the game. As for game modes, you get similar game modes to what the previous game had, plus multiplayer. Only that now the game also has minigames in the menu. But don't get your hopes up, the minigames aren't like in other games. Here, minigame means that you play 1-on-1 instead of the normal 2-on-2 the rest of the game has, or you can play 2-on-3, you can pause the video to look at all the alternatives. Also you can now equip items and buff the characters. You can see the effects in the video. As for the basketball itself, it's a decent experience. It feels basic, but yet enjoyable. Disney Sports Soccer is again the same story. The gameplay itself feels basic, but still is enjoyable to play nonetheless. You can again use magic moves by equipping items from the menu. You get again 6 characters and 6 stadiums. The game modes, even if they have different names and seem plenty, you essentially do the same thing in all of them. And the minigames are interesting and look cool when you first look at them, but when you see that you can win in them with just a button press, no skill involved, the minigames get disappointing. But overall, if you're someone who seeks a casual soccer game for his kids, or likes cute soccer games that are solid, this one is great. But if you want depth, this is not the soccer game for you. Disney Sports Motocross is again very basic, but still solid. You have stuff to do like reach the end of the stage in the time limit, take first place in a race, or collect gems. You get a turbo button and you can incline the bike in the air. You can choose from a handful of bike colors, and as for the gameplay, yet again you get 6 characters and 6 stages. The game doesn't offer much in content, but the gameplay mechanics, as basic as they feel, still feel very good. Disney Sports Skateboarding is disappointing. The game mechanics just don't work. Not only that the game doesn't explain very well how the game works, but when you want to do anything, the game is unresponsive. And you can see that especially when you want to do some tricks. And when you see what button combinations you need for a trick, you'll see how bad the game is. Not only that the button combinations are hard, but the game doesn't read every button press. Also the animations are just lame in the game. Content wise you get 4 skaters and 8 skate parks. But by how bad the game mechanics are and how the content is and looks, I don't recommend the game. Disney Sports Snowboarding is good, but only if you judge it in context. there's a limit on what you can pull off on the GBA and its tiny cartridge. The game is great for kids and casual players. The game is very forgiving, it's easy to pull off tricks, and the sense of speed is nice too. Unfortunately, the 5 stages in the game look very similar because of the technique used to make the levels. The floor is a looping video, and because the technique occupies space, there wasn't room for more. But hey, you get 30 unlockable boards, which is a nice number, and you also get 6 playable characters. Overall, while the game is good for GBA standards, I wouldn't recommend you to play this game today, as you can play better portable snowboarding games. But for a quick, casual and relaxing experience, the game does the job well. It's a good game for kids. Okay, so this was the video. If you liked it, please hit the like button and subscribe. If you want to financially support me in my pursuit to review as many video games as possible, you can do that on Patreon or on the channel's membership section. You would help me a lot. If you want, you can follow me on Twitch, Instagram or Discord, and if you want to see another video of mine, just wait till I stop talking and I'll reveal thumbnails of other videos I've made. Thanks for watching.